Okay, good evening. I'd like to call the North Aurora Village Board meeting to order for Monday, September 20th, 2021. Please join me in a roll call, or I'm sorry, check that. Silent prayer meditation. Okay, thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Now, roll call, please.
Mayor Gaffino.
Here.
Trustee Curtis. Here. Trustee Gately.
Here.
Trustee Lowry.
Here.
Trustee Nedved.
Here.
Trustee Salazar. Here.
Okay, thank you. I have a proclamation to read for Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Whereas childhood cancer is a leading cause of death by disease in children, and whereas 1 in 285 children in the United States will be diagnosed by their 20th birthday, and 46 children per day, or 16,790 children per year, are diagnosed with cancer in the U.S. And whereas there are approximately 40,000 children on active treatment at any given time, and 80% of childhood cancer patients are diagnosed late with metastatic diseases. And whereas the National Cancer Institute recognizes the unique research needs of childhood cancer and associated needs for increased funding to carry this out. Whereas hundreds of nonprofit organizations at the local and national level are helping children with cancer. Their families cope through educational, emotional, financial support, and researchers and healthcare professionals work diligently, dedicating their expertise to treat and cure children with cancer. And whereas too many children are affected by the deadly disease, and more must be done to raise awareness and find a cure. Now, therefore, may we claim that I, Mark Gaffino, Village President, and the Board of Trustees of North Aurora do hereby proclaim the September 2021 as Childhood Cancer Awareness Month in North Aurora, and encourage all to observe Childhood Cancer Awareness Month and support this cause that deeply impacts families in every community across our country. Dated this day, September 20th, 2021. Thank you. We're going to open a public hearing for the third amendment to the annexation agreement for the Moose Lake Estate subdivision. Does anyone sign up to speak or want to speak regarding that? All right, we'll close the public hearing. Thank you. The next item, we're going to recognize Connie Holbrook. She served on the Plan Commission and Police Commission for many years, and we have a little plaque for her. I'd like her to come forward.
Congratulations.
Okay, any audience comments? Anybody signed up to speak? Okay, seeing none. Consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Clerk, call the roll, please.
Trustee Lowry.
Yes.
Trustee Nedved.
Yes.
Trustee Salazar.
Yes.
Trustee Curtis.
Yes.
Trustee Gately.
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, under new business, item 1, Steve.
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 1 is a special event request for a cycling race An organization named Athletes by Design Cycling would like to host a race on Sunday, October 3rd from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. In general, it'd be 6 total races, different age groups, about 10 to 30 racers each race. Originally, when they submitted their request, which needs our approval because it's going to be on public streets, there were some concerns from myself and the police chief. We went over it. What they want to do is they want to do a loop, and they want to use Breton, Patterson, and Fairmeadow. It's on the screen in front of you. The area there, mostly it's Breton from Deer Path. Residents sometimes will use that as an access into Orchard Estates. There are other ways into that subdivision, but nevertheless, Chief Fisher and I were a little concerned about closing off roads. As we start to talk to the organization, it turns out that they've done races for years, and they use flaggers during the event where they will, when there are racers, and there shouldn't be, like I said, there's only about 10 to 30 each race. And so the loop is almost a mile long. So, and they ride typically in packs. So they said maybe 30 seconds to a minute here and there. There might be a delay during one of the races, but other than that, they'll actually let traffic go throughout the day. So someone might just have to wait about 30 seconds for a pack to go by, and then they'll let them use the road. With that being said, once again, they need our permission because it's public streets. And so that's why it's in front of you.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion?
What day and time is that, Steve?
It's Sunday, October 3rd from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Okay.
And so I envision one of the things we would do is probably a traffic advisory, put it out on Facebook, let people know that that's happening, that there are multiple entrances into Orchard Estates that can be used in case people completely want to avoid it.
Clerk call roll, please.
Trustee Gately,
Yes.
trustee Lowry,
Yes.
trustee Nedved,
Yes.
trustee Salazar,
yes,
trustee Curtis.
Okay, thank you. Item 2.
Okay. Item number 2 on the agenda, and you'll see a theme, is our community development director is out of town, or will be out of town. So he is not at tonight's meeting. So I'll be handling all of our community development items tonight. The next item on the agenda is there's 2 different votes that'll be happening simultaneously. The first one will be the annexation agreement amendment. It'll be the 3rd annexation agreement amendment. And then the second one will be the approval of phase 3 plat for Moose Lake Estates. Just as a reminder, to go back in history, about 10 months ago or so, started about November last year, we had a developer that was interested, came to the village, MI Homes. They wanted to build on the remaining 68 lots at the Moose Lake subdivision. 32 of those lots are in phase 1 and 2, which is the phases are the phases where the homes actually exist already, but there are just empty lots between some of the homes. And then there are 36 additional lots in phase 3 where the plat was never recorded. So essentially it's just a piece of vacant grass area within the subdivision. MI Homes came forward with an annexation amendment agreement, and they also wanted the phase 3 plat approved. There was a lot of concerns from the residents. The village board had concerns, and ultimately the village board denied both of those petitions requests. Where we are today is in a much different spot. Since then, we have McHugh Builders, who is interested in building on the remaining 68 lots. We have support from the HOA. Today, there was another email. If you haven't seen it yet, it was forwarded to you. There was an email from the HOA board president supporting the project. And as you know, they've spoken on this project recently at a committee of the whole meeting. McHugh, unlike MI Homes, is looking to build houses that I think the HOA feels are much more in line with the community there. MI Homes were smaller on average, and they had less architectural features. McHugh builds homes that are more in the size and architectural standards of the rest of the Moose Lake subdivision. And that's why I think the HOA is supporting it. And it's, to our knowledge, they actually have an agreement in place with the current property owner, the HOA, and McHugh Builders to build said homes on those properties. So with those architectural renderings included. That being said, sorry for the long background there. So the first item, the annexation amendment, essentially takes the current annexation agreement, which is due to expire in 2023. It extends it to 2027. It allows McHugh Builders to hold off on recording the plat for phase 3 for 2 years because their focus will be on phases 1 and 2 to complete those first. And then it gives them the advantage to go back and plat it later, record it, and then build phase 3. They have 4 years to finish all improvements. And that includes, they will be doing the trees and the sidewalks with each individual lots, which is normal at this point since the sidewalks are already in for phase 1 and 2. And this also extends the existing stormwater that was approved with the original annexation agreement through 2027, so that the detention areas stay the same, the detention areas. That being said, that is the first item on the agenda for your review.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Lowry,
Yes.
trustee Nedved,
Yes.
trustee Salazar,
yes,
trustee Curtis.
Yes.
Trustee Gately.
Yes.
And Attorney Drendel, just to make sure the mayor should vote too on this because it's a supermajority, correct?
Yeah, actually, yes, that is accurate. So on the annexation agreement, it calls for a supermajority vote, so the mayor votes on this one.
Mayor
Yes.
Gavino.
Yep.
Thank you, Kevin. All right, item number 2, which I should have said was concurrent, not simultaneous. The second item is the plat. And so once again, this will be the plat. It's required that it's approved as part of the development for them to move forward with phase 3.
motion to approve,
Second.
Discussion? Clerk call the roll.
Trustee Salazar,
yes,
trustee Curtis.
Yes.
Trustee Gately,
Yes.
trustee Lowry,
Yes.
trustee Nedved.
Yes.
Do you have to vote too?
Not on this
All
one.
right, thank you. Item 4.
Okay, thank you. Item 4 on the agenda is a land swap between the village and the Oberweis properties for a development. This is in regards to the industrial development that with Transwestern that is going to be at the corner of Ice Cream Drive and Randall Road. And basically what is, in a nutshell, they need a small piece of land for additional detention storage or retention for stormwater. We own the property next to it, which is essentially wetlands and our well sites. We need a small sliver of property as well to have better access to our well 8, which is off of Randall Road. And they also need a small temporary grading easement for the project on our property when they start construction. I'm going to let Kevin finish. Kevin's going to explain what we were actually discussing tonight for the vote, because this is not the final time you'll see it.
So the authority for a non-home rule community municipality to swap land is provided in the Illinois Municipal Code, and then the procedure for it is laid out. So we are following the procedure. The first step is the approval of consideration of the proposal with the setting of a public hearing. And that's what the resolution that's in front of you does. It presents the proposal for consideration. It sets the time and place for the public hearing, which will be October 18th. We couldn't do it October 4th or whatever the first Monday is in October, because we have to publish in the paper not less than 15 days and not more than 30 days before the hearing. And we only had 14 days. So we have to go to the second board meeting in October. So at the second board meeting, then we'll have a public hearing and take any public comments from people that want to comment about it. And when the hearing's closed, we will have an ordinance that needs to be approved. And the ordinance will approve the land swap pursuant to the terms that we have worked out with the Transwestern entity. I think it's called, I don't remember what it's called, Airport Road Industrial or something.
Transwestern Development Company, and I don't have it right here.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's an entity that we already know who they are, and I just am drawing a blank. So they've already taken title to the Oberweis property. This agreement was anticipated in the the PUD ordinance that was approved recently. That little piece of property on the east, to the east of the property that Transwestern has purchased from Oberweis and is planning to develop, is, you know, it's swampland, it's wetland. They will have to get an Army Corps permit to use it, and they'll be putting retention up in that that upper parcel, and this little piece will become part of that retention. So it was needed to complete the retention that was required based upon the engineering for this site. And of course, we're, you know, we could just sell that piece to them, but we actually would like to have the sliver of property that's at the north west corner, which will give us a little bit more room on the village well site. So it ends up being a nice land swap. There is a copy of an agreement that is an exhibit to this. That agreement, you know, may change. As a matter of fact, when we first drafted it, that sliver that was coming to the village was a little smaller, and it's gotten bigger based upon discussions. There's also a little grading parcel just to the north and on the northeast side that we're going to give them that will help them to do the development, and it's just a temporary grading easement. So anyway, we're just approving tonight. We're approving the proposal and setting it for a public hearing. It does require 4/5 vote. It's a supermajority vote, so the mayor will vote on this one.
Motion approved.
Second.
Discussion? Clerk call the roll, please.
Trustee Gately,
Yes.
trustee Lowry,
Yes.
trustee Nedved,
Yes.
trustee Salazar,
Yes.
trustee Curtis. Mayor Gafino.
Yes. All right, thank you. Item 5, Steve.
Thank you. Item number 5 on the agenda is regarding a temporary use approval. This is in regards to the sidewalk project that the village is currently looking to move forward with on Route 31. In regards to that, as you remember, we had a resident, Mr. Slaker, at 129 South Lincoln Way, who has a parking issue, and we are trying to work out something so that we can still move the sidewalk, but give him a temporary parking solution. This ordinance in front of you is basically a temporary zoning ordinance, because what we've determined is that he's going to, in this agreement, utilize a piece of land to the north of his current parking area, in the general area, right where he's like just adjacent to where he's parking now. And what it does is it gives him the ability to park off-site, because technically it's a different parcel for the majority of that. And our zoning code doesn't allow off-site parking. So the board has the authority to grant temporary off-site parking. So the agreement in front of you is, by ordinance, would allow for 1 year off-site parking temporarily for Mr. Slaker to park his vehicles. And that basically in the meantime, he'll be working on a long-term approach for parking, and that would go through our normal building processes when it's ready to move forward. At the end of a year, if there's still no movement, if it's still a temporary situation, this expires, so it would have to come back to the village board.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Curtis. Trustee Gately,
Yes.
trustee Lowry,
Yes.
trustee Nedved,
Yes.
trustee Salazar.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Exciting village president report. I just want to, we just had another successful North Road Days day come to an end, also known as Fall Fun Fest. And I want to thank Steve Basco. He kind of was in charge of the whole operation, and being at a new place out here, it was a lot of challenges, but I think everything worked well. John, your guys, super job as always, and Chief Fisher, same. It's always, you know, new things, challenges and things, but I think it was successful. We had a few bumps, and we're planning next year. So thank you for that. That's all I got. Trustee comments?
No, I thought the event was great. Well put together.
I just want to echo what Mayor Gafino said. I think it was a very nice event. Again, each place has its challenges. I love it down here. I thought it was a really nice event, and I just want to compliment all the work that went into it.
Anybody else? All right, administrator report.
Just two things. First one was about Fall Fest. So I did want to thank my staff as well. Bill does an amazing job in the background with all the finances that go on, and he works with Lions Club, Mothers Club on the beer tent and organizing that and making sure that runs smoothly. John, of course, with the Public Works Department, they did a lot of work before the event even started to clean up the park, and really, not that it needed it, because they've been actually doing a really great job all year keeping up with it. And then the police, and we've had this conversation where I wanted all the staff to know that it really just gives an opportunity. I saw the police interacting throughout the day with residents, playing with the kids in the crowd, and occasionally singing and dancing along with the music. And the Public Works guys are always right there. Anytime you need anything moved or anything, they are right there always, and keeping the park clean during the event. And of course, Bill and particularly Natalie Stevens on my staff, and as well as David Hansen, they were there for, if not all the event, most of it. And they did a lot of behind scenes logistics work. So it was good. It was the first time we've done something of that size in the park, with aside from the 4th of July fireworks. So but it went well. We had an issue, of course, with the shuttles. We reached out to the bus company today. One of the shuttle drivers apparently just stopped driving in the middle of his route. So we're working on that. We'll try to figure that one out. So we'll go from there. And the silo, wanted to point out that tonight is, it's fitting that we had the proclamation read tonight, because we changed the color of the silo on Monday nights. And so we did light the silo in honor of the proclamation for child cancer awareness. So it's actually lit as close as we can get to gold, which I believe is the actual color. We have a yellowish gold. So we lit the silo up that color for the week.
Thank you. Department reports. Anybody? Okay, motion adjourned.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you. We'll be meeting shortly for committee of the whole.